had some, but hello guys. I had some, but I don't know. Does anybody have a question? If not, I can go with one.
I have. Oh, go ahead, Fabi.
Yeah, I have one question. What's your favorite hobby? Not tech related or DeFi or not technical.
Well, you first.
Okay. My main hobbies. I'm really fan of sports. I really like to practice sports, and I'm really fan of doing CrossFit. So yeah, that's one of my favorite hobbies. I'll pass it over to Chuy.
Favorite hobbies, yeah, film and music, pretty much watching films and listening to new music. I pass it to Sam.
Paulo. Well, for hobbies, it doesn't have to be technical, right? I mean, I like to read a lot about different things. I don't know, the stuff that I like is the stuff that is more like understanding how things work, and it can be also the human body, or it can be, for example, I have some books around the nutrition, the how the mind works, these kind of things. I like those things a lot. And I also like a lot the mountain, going to the mountain when I'm not, when I want to breathe fresh air. I just go to the mountain. I will pass it to Seppi.
Thanks, Sam. Yeah, for me, I also love the mountain. Me and Sam, when we have both time, we go for long walks, and that's awesome. And my big hobby is calisthenics, similar like to Fabi does. I really love it. I'll pass it to Paulo.
Hi, everyone. I suppose the question is about our favorite hobbies.
Yeah, but not tech.
Oh, not technical. Okay. So for me, I really like to listen to music. I love to read about books related to rock music, starting from the 60s to the 90s. Watching documentaries about that period, and I also love to read about scientific books like made for the public, like for example Isaac Asimov or Richard Dawkins, for example, and yeah, I'll pass it to Gabi.
Hey, thanks, Paulo. Yeah, on my side, I also share the interest with Fabi and Septi about doing CrossFit and calisthenic workouts. I enjoy it a lot, that time to clear the mind and also sharpen the mind. And outside from the text, and yeah, other than that, I like to also read and self-improvement books as well, and doing sharing out, hanging out with the family and friends, and not much about that. So yeah, I think only you, Rick, is left. So pass it to you.
Yep. Really tough because I'm pretty sure this is my hobby for sure. But I will comply. Don't really do much else. I played Ultimate Frisbee this last weekend, and it was really, I love Frisbee. I could chase the disc like a dog forever. I really love that. But honestly, what I do most is just like find a way to be in hot water. I love hot springs. I love baths. I love hot showers. It doesn't matter. Like hot water. I don't know if that counts as a hobby, but it's my hobby. Yeah, sauna, exactly. The spa, it's kind of the opposite of working out, but whatever. You sweat either way. Okay, with that, we kind of missed the, because I think that's everyone. We sort of forgot to do updates on agenda topics. So maybe we'll do one more round of fun round, and just like any agenda topics that anyone has. I definitely want to add votes, any Celeste Honeypot updates, and going over the board and the demo next steps. Chuy, do you have any agenda topics to add?
I just wanted to mention some of the updates that I'm gonna be posting in Wednesday, and I wanted to see if anybody had anything that you would like to add or suggestions as well. And actually, I wanted to ask you, I hope there's no problem if I can leave maybe like 20 minutes earlier, because I need to go get a COVID test for just like a requirement for a gig. So, I mean, if anybody else has anything to say, or can I just start with my...
No, let's do a round. Any other agenda topics? Ten?
I guess we have to check out if the DAO has the ability. Well, the another thing that we have to talk about is doing the demo vote of the migration. And what else? What we are going to be doing during next week? There is that Agave. They are doing a template as well as us, so we can mix up what the disputable honeypot is with what we want with the commons template, what Agave wants, and maybe we can do a mashup and do one thing that is useful for many. I don't know how to write it, but we can discuss about it. And
You can pass it, and if you come up with something, just add it to the agenda. Fabi, do you have anything to add to the agenda?
No, actually, from my side.
Gabby, anything to add to the agenda?
Trying to think of it, but if I have something, I'll share as well in the next couple of minutes.
And Paula?
Yes, one thing, well, it's not something to discuss, but I want to change my Ethereum account on the Garden Swarm to mint a new token from... I just bought a Trezor wallet, so I want to change my Ethereum address. So just to...
I think that'll be worth discussing.
Okay.
Zefty, do you have any thoughts? No. Craig, do you have any agenda topics?
Nay.
Craig is always so fast. Okay, so then let's just dive into this. And if someone has an agenda topic, I'll make sure we get to it, but you have to add it in.
Griff, sorry. I had another small point for the agenda. Something related to the Aragon Connect library and the front end that regarding the network issues that we had this week. So Gabby is here, so maybe he can give us some hints on what to do.
Okay, cool. So
let's add to the price versus reserve ratio formula for the params. I don't know if that's something Maybe we can ask people to focus on that during this week.
Okay, cool. So let's because Chuy has to leave really quick. Let's just dive into his updates, and then we'll go into votes.
Thank you, Griff. It's gonna be pretty quick. For this Wednesday, I wanted to communicate that Paulo, you made an amazing work, an amazing job creating an Aragon Connect based connector that connects to a Hatch subgraph created using the graph indexing protocol. You can check it out in GitHub. Does this sound like correct? Does it make any sense, or are there any other progress made?
Do you have a link to this, Chuy? Can you pass it to me or?
Oh yeah. Sorry about that. Here is the link. Seeing it in the Commons channel. And also, well, yeah, just in general, and anything that you would like to add. Also, starting this Wednesday, I'm gonna create a post in the TEC forum as well, and yeah, so this way we can the Common Swarm can be like communicating to the TEC, and we'll just like pick up on the intention of communicating to OneHive from TEC with our regular OneHive forum post. So so do you have anything you'd like to add for like as an update for this Wednesday?
Yeah, I will say why is that important, but it's a bit tough to say. I think that we can explain that this is a very good example of how to, because it's work related with that can be used later for other things within OneHive. There are already a lot of documentation on the other connectors, so maybe it's not as good as having the examples that already exists. Maybe you, Paulo, can have some idea of how we can communicate that work in regards of why is that useful for OneHive?
Yeah.
I mean, oh, go ahead, Gabi. Oh, sorry, Chuy.
No, I was going to mention a bit about that I have a look on your connector, and I think you did a great job on outlining the documentation on a few of the things that we are missing. I believe even in the connect documentation. So I think that could be a great way to share how connectors are done. What I was not sure yet is how we will actually document that, in the sense that the connect and Aragon stuff is we don't have more permission to that, but I think it would be useful to have some sort of place where we will put that, or at least share that information that you write in the connector with others.
Yeah, I will focus on that because I mean the connector. I base my work on OneHive. Basically, I stood on the shoulders of giants. I took the work they did for other app connectors, and base the Hatch connector on that. So maybe, as Gabi was saying, maybe we could focus the posts or the things that we want to say more on the documentation side, or specific things related to this connector, but not in a general sense, because a lot of connectors have been done already, and One Hive did many of them. So maybe we can.
Regardless, I think you did a great show on, I outlined what was important, and I believe it's gonna be really useful going forward to have that resource to point out. And
Can you just say what is most useful about this resource?
yeah, I would say that there is the README that Paulo did was much clearer than what we previously had, and I would say it's a more up to date version of using the latest connect changes that maybe not updated in everywhere else.
Yeah, we can talk about the new changes that Gabi pushed to the Connect repo that I use on the Hatch connector, the new API changes, because the other connectors use oldest version, so that might be a good point to talk about too. So, yep.
Good point.
Okay. And do we want to mention this like Agave thing in any way, or should we like keep it for next week to see if there are any updates there?
Yeah, we don't have yet anything. So
Yeah, I think it's really important to talk about the past and not the future, because
Okay.
we don't make promises we don't keep.
Okay. And also, just like as a last thing, like I wanted to check if you guys were okay with this. Like just inviting people to boost the like Discord Nitro. Just invite the community, like if they want to like boost the server. I read that it just offers like better like audio quality and calls and stuff like that. Like here, the One Hive server has some server boosters, but on the TEC, I think I'm the only one. So I just wanted to like put it out there to see if people are willing to do this, but it's not necessary. And that's it. I don't know if you have any questions.
no, I will not talk about that in the communication from Common Swarm to
Okay, yeah.
because
Yeah, you're right.
we are independent from TSC2. I think that it's a weird situation because we are part of both things and none of at the same time. But in order to not introduce more noise, I will not talk about. I will talk about TEC as the first DAO of Common Swarm, and TEC is and Common Swarm is more like Common Stack than TEC.
Okay, got it. And what if I let it out of the Common Swarm recap and I just use it for the TEC forum? Would that be okay?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, just like keep it out of One Hive business.
Okay, cool. The only thing I added is the hatch demo. I think it's worth that. I feel like that's the big thing to highlight. It might even be like the hatch frozen and Audrey are doing a code review, and then the hatch demo being live for our first user might be, those should be really highlighted. Anyway, cool. And I don't know. We're looking for publishers and distributors in TEC Comms. That also sounds like something that should be less for. Well, we can put it out there in one hive. I don't see it being a problem. Just making that as an offer. Anyway, we should keep going. You don't have anything else, right, Chuy?
No, that's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you, man. Okay, so let's dive into votes. Sam, we have some votes up.
We just have one, and Chuy and Fabi has already voted, and me. So we just need one more.
Okay, who wants to vote?
So I voted too.
Great.
So we have it?
Yeah, with me will be enough.
Okay, sweet. So there was on that, Paulo, you wanted to talk about using a hardware wallet for your tokens. I just want to say I do not recommend this. It just creates more friction for DAO participation, which is hard enough already. I don't actually recommend people. Keep your money on your hardware wallet, but keep your governance power at your fingertips. You know?
Yeah, I mean, for the DAO will be like changing the Ethereum address to another, to a new one.
For receiving money.
Yeah, because MetaMask has a feature that allow you to connect the hardware wallet to that to MetaMask, and basically it's like a new Ethereum account on MetaMask.
I am fully aware of this feature, and I still highly discourage adding this extra hardware wallet. I don't know if anyone else has had this experience with working with DAOs and a hardware wallet, but for me, it's been incredibly annoying. So I don't.
I would second that. Like I have a ledger, and just it's not the best thing with MetaMask. Like whenever you if you have an emergency and you can figure it out like right there, it's just I've done it too, and I don't recommend it.
Does anyone here actually use a hardware wallet for their for DAOs currently?
But by the way, we are saying about the address that is received fund, right? So we can just change it in the spreadsheet, and that's all.
Yeah, for payments, I think it makes a lot of sense. But I would beg you to keep your DAO token at your fingertips. You know what? If you leave your treasure at home and we have to do something.
I'll follow your advice, if it's better that way. I'll follow your advice. No, it's not a problem for me. It's just like I like to have everything in one place, but it's okay. So maybe
there's also the other added value is like sometimes it's nice to have your identity attached to your DAO, but it's not nice to have your identity attached to your bank account. That's another benefit of keeping financial things separated from. But that's a different discussion.
It's a problem when you have governance tokens.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a fucking nightmare.
Yeah. Okay. So then let's move on to. Thank you, Paulo. Though is always a good discussion. And let's move on to Celeste and Honeypot updates. I want to, Fabi, you gave it a great link. It sounds like they haven't deployed the Honeypot, the vote to upgrade yet, right? Or can you give us an update?
All the information that I have is was collected on the link, was spread on the link that I sent to the Telegram channel. Yeah, that's all the information that I have on my side.
Well, maybe you read it and not everyone has. Could you just give us like the TLDR?
Oh, yeah. Give me 1 second. I sent this that way. Okay, great. Did you take a look at the link? Maybe you can give me a hand on this. I haven't read the whole thing.
Did anyone else read the forum and want to give us an update?
Well, the thing is that the upgrade is already on. It is going to be a two-step update because first of all, the controller is going to be passed. The Honey token controller, which typically is the token manager, is going to be changed into the new DAO token manager. And later on, I guess that the funds are going to be transferred into the new DAO, the funds from the funding pool. So that means that we have already the disputable DAO deployed, and we are on. I didn't check out yet the code, but I think that this should mean that we already have the template of a disputable DAO on NextDAI, which means that we can begin to work on DAOs in NextDAI, on disputable DAOs in NextDAI. This can be useful for gardens. It can be useful for commons templates. And also, Agave wants to have a disputable DAO without conviction voting. So it can be something interesting for them. And I think that this is the time that we can work together with that new template and do a template for Agave, a template for commons, and a template for gardens with the apps that are already there for Honey template. The template is called Honey template.
Is there any action steps for anybody to do?
I was going to mention about that in the Agave partnership point, but now that we are discussing it, I was going to say that probably there is quite a lot of synergy to collaborate on that in the Garden Swarm as well. We are doing the planning on that, but probably trying to have as well the tech template as a other configuration that communities can create gardens from could be amazing. But yeah, we should definitely collaborate on that one for sure.
Yes, I was working. I was talking with Green Hornet last day and also with Sandpiper, and we were talking about let's work on towards that. So probably this week will be a good week to work together on disputable templates.
Okay, nice. Let's also bring Will into the discussion, and that is the one that work on the Honey template. And also, let me think. I believe there is also. I was contacted by James from Give, and they will also look into to use this template, and he was also offering to help with whatever we need. So there are other people interested. So
I will say for on the Give side, James and Mateo may be interested in watching and stuff, but I don't think they can add a lot of value in participating. And it's pretty low on our roadmap. We need to have a token first, and then we'll worry about the governance. Well, I mean,
Cool.
upgrading the governance. So, but it's cool to invite them, but don't schedule around their times if there's a conflict.
Great, thanks.
And also, we were talking with Fabi last week because he's working with the front end, the disputable honeypot front end, and we needed something to basically deploy a TC Commons DAO in order to be able to change everything. And I think that it can be a good time. I'm not sure yet if that's if we can go the thing that we said last time, Fabi, about doing that on Rinkaby, or we now can go with XDAI. Probably Rinkaby is still better, right?
What do you mean?
Because last time we said, okay.
Can you give some context, Sam? I don't think we understand what you're talking about.
Okay. We are modifying the interface for the honeypot, disputable honeypot, which is the conviction voting governance thing. And because we are grabbing the data from the blockchain, we are grabbing, for example, the honey token, and it would be interesting to have a deployed template that is more similar to what we are going to have with TC token or test TC token. This is something that we wanted to have for this week with Fabi. I can work on that during the today and see how we can connect the front end with this. But now that we have that on XDAI, I am not sure if that will be interesting to already have it on XDAI. Probably it's better to begin with the Rinkaby thing and modify it on Rinkaby. Because you were already using the Rinkaby, you were already connected to Rinkaby with the demo of the honeypot.
Yeah, but I don't think that connecting to XDAI is a big deal, right? I mean,
No.
if we can you reuse the XDAI deployment or deploy to the XDAI, I mean, that's not
No, it should not be very different. Maybe changing the ENSs, other things like that. But maybe they are already there.
I mean, they have a really cool network configuration. I think it's really easy to change the network.
Okay, that's one of the things that we are working on in order to be able to change.
Yeah. Also, Marco is working on the design.
Exactly. In the meantime that Marco is working on the new design, we are working on changing the tokens, the token names, and everything related with Honey into another thing. That can be, in that case, it's going to be TC, but it can also be any other token.
Nice.
Do we have something else in the agenda?
You are mute, Grip.
Yeah, we have the Aragon Connect library.
Oh yeah. So basically, there has been a problem with the hatch demo due to, I think, is some network issues. Sometimes, as Griff explained on an issue that he created some days ago, sometimes the transaction failed, but or it tells you that it failed, but still is confirmed. So a workaround for that was to connect into another endpoint, another XDAI endpoint. But Sam and I were having some issue on that because the Aragon Connect library, you can pass it and like your own Ethereum provider with the endpoint that you want to connect to. But at the end, the Connect library doesn't use it. It uses the default one. So yeah, that's the issue.
The issue actually is that we have an Ethers and an Ethereum provider.
Yeah. The Connect library creates something that calls Ethereum provider, where it stores the provider that you send it. So, but at the end, when you try to make calls to the contract, it uses the default one. So this is an issue that I can discuss with Gabi on a meeting. I think it's just a small pull request that changes a couple of code lines. So the Connect uses your own provider that you pass it. But I just wanted to mention it because I know that some people were having problem with this. And yeah. Maybe
we will probably.
Yeah, go ahead, Gabi.
No, I was going to say that we fork Connect in the One Hive, and we published the other day with Fabri because we did a small change on Connect, and probably we are going to start using that one instead, like instead of Aragon a version, the One Hive that Connect version, because otherwise we can't. I don't know. What do you think also? But should we? Because otherwise we might move slower if we are creating pull requests into Connect. That I'm not sure how priority is that for the current Aragon team. So
okay.
Open for discussion, but we decide with Fabri to publish directly in One Hive for now.
Okay, so we can start using the One Hive fork repo. And it will be a lot easier to, as you said, to merge new changes to the code.
Cool. But yeah, let's schedule a meeting for looking at this.
Awesome. So I'll send you a DM or something.
Okay, guys, I'm going to take off real quick, but I'll catch up with you later.
Thank you, Chuy. See you, buddy. Okay, so I made that in progress and assigned it to you, Paulo.
Yeah, okay. I created an issue already on the Hatch connector repo.
Okay, cool. This one, problem with Aragon Connect.
Yeah.
So then I'll just reference this one.
Do you think the problem that people is having with the transactions that fail is related with that?
I'm not completely sure. I think it's this. I wanted to discuss that with Gabi as well, because it's a problem with that MetaMask gives you, kind of weird. But I think it's the network, but I'm not completely sure.
But the network is already fixed in a way because we are using a custom provider. So that will not fix that. That will just make the patch.
I mean, the frequency with which this happens has decreased. I mean, with the default network, I basically couldn't contribute because every time that I want to contribute, it gave me this error.
It's going to be.
But I'm not completely sure. I wanted to discuss it with Gabby because
it sounds like these two issues may be related, but you and Gabby will hash it out later outside of the.
So
okay, so let's just power forward then, so we can get through more of these issues. I don't think we need to talk about price versus reserve ratio unless you really want to, Sam. But I would strike it in favor of going over the board.
Okay. There is one thing that we are doing this, and if we go directly to the demo next steps, I will. The most important thing that we have to check out is if the current DAO has an interface for the Dandelion voting or not, because I am not sure about that. I would
Shouldn't
say
it use the default Dandelion DAO interface? Like, can't we just put in the address and it would pop up?
I am not sure. If we don't have, because there are two Dandelion votings, one with the contract and we are going to prepare verification party for all the contracts and see if we can verify all the contracts that there are in NextDAI that has not their solidity code in Block Scout. We may need some help right now we are going to be Gabby, Paulo, and me, but we may want to do some kind of event regarding that. And the idea is to verify all Aragon OS contracts and the different things that we are going to be using, for example, token manager, Dandelion voting, and this kind of stuff. And it's very important that Gabby is there because he has the keys in order to update the APM if we cannot verify a contract for any reason, and we can launch a new version of the contract if in the worst case scenario. But yeah, it's something that it's there. Like we have to write a post and tell, hey, we are going to be that day doing that if you want to join or something.
Is this something that should go in the update in Chuy's update? Request for support.
It could go, right?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, when you sell it like a verification party, I want to.
But I don't know.
Who should I assign to?
I don't know what we can do in regards of doing something interesting for the verification party. It's going to be very boring, probably.
Put on the Groovy bot.
It's more like a work session.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe we can give some pull-ups. I don't know. And yeah, that's something that it's important, and also for.
But it sounds like it's a one hive thing too, right? Like, so it would be good to invite them.
Yes. It is something that in One Hive is being asked in the current One Hive. There is a proposal that says, "Hey, please verify the contracts," and we also need that for TEC. So let's roll with it. And for the Dandelion for this week, we are going to have a vote on the migration, and we will need two things: one DAO on which to migrate that it will be easy to create, but we have to check if we are using the Dandelion voting that has an interface or doesn't have it. And Paulo, do you have the address of the DAO, of the new DAO? Is it updated in the repo? In the egg hatch repo?
Yeah, I think so. Let me check it out.
Because maybe it's in your env file.
Give me a moment. No.
For the verification party, do you want to create a doodle?
I wanted to create a post, and I mean, I was thinking we should create a post and do a kind of doodle with many people, but it's very yeah.
I think the post might be. I mean, the post. If you make a post, please make it super short and don't spend much time on it. Just you can reference the link to the issue that was being voted on, but you know the key thing here. I really believe in the power of doodles, because when people go to the doodle and fill it out, if you pick that time, they feel obligated to show up. So it's a really powerful tool for gaining support. So yeah, like doodle for sure.
Okay, the most important thing is that Gabi and Paulo and me are there. So do you want to select, what time would you prefer, guys?
Well, who has the busiest schedule, would you say?
We can create a lettuce meet if you want.
What? What did you say, Gabby?
No, I say maybe we can create a lettuce meeting to coordinate.
Yeah. But the great thing about Doodle is you don't have to coordinate. Just one person puts in a bunch of times. Usually it's best if it's the busiest person, and then they pass it to you two, and then that is the coordination.
Okay.
So the question is, who has the busiest schedule? Especially Europe, US times.
I'm quite free. You, Gabi? What time do you prefer?
Yeah, I'm usually free in the evening, and all other than the Wednesday that I have the course schedule, but other than that, the other days are in the evening. It's fine.
Okay, who's made doodles before?
I think lettuce meeting is similar, but maybe you can show us.
Yeah, the lettuce is the same than the doodle. Same thing, but different names.
Okay, good.
Okay, well, you guys don't have to use Doodle. You can use the other thing too, as long as it's the same. That's cool. And if you've used that before, Gabby, I just want to assign it to one person so we can get done like today or tomorrow.
I'm doing it the lettuce meeting. Let me share it in a couple of minutes.
Perfect. Okay, done.
And let's put some memes in the verification party.
Some what? Emojis?
Some memes with memes for verification and memes for party.
Some memes.
Memes. Okay, yeah. I can throw a meme down.
I going to attend the DoorDash I got someone. Be right back.
Okay. Okay, cool. Then let's keep this party going. Let's see. That's really nice, though. Verification party. Demo next steps. That's right. You were talking about blockers for the next steps in the demo. Sam?
Yes. Paulo, do you have the address of the DAO? It's just, let's check that we have the front end of the Dandelion voting in place.
We can make that a to-do list. Is there...
I'll commit it right now. The address that is in the repo right now is not updated, so I'll do it right away.
Is it in the env example or where?
The env example file. .env.example file.
It is in March 1. It's not updated. Are you still updating or is it on develop?
I haven't done it yet. Give me a second.
Okay. Okay. Okay, something else? Also, we have many people in the call. Do you want to say, anybody wants to say something, or don't be shy, say hi, and maybe we can we have some tasks for you guys.
Yeah, okay, let's
If you
do
want to take
that really quick. So for the new people, we'll just pass it to you, and you can introduce yourselves and tell us if you're interested in taking on any kind of tasks. Inu? Are you there, Inu? No? You're muted if you're there. We'll try you at the end. What about Tom Infosec? Also muted? No dice. What about Zer8? Oh, you can't even hear me. Well, Tonga, we know you. Hey, Tonga, do you wanna say anything? Are you interested in trying to pick up a task?
Hello, how are you? Yeah, I'm studying scaffolding, and yeah, I was going to work on gardens. I was looking at the Zen Hub from gardens, but yes, I could take, maybe if it's not in a rush, I can take something.
Cool.
We are going to work together with Agave and Gardens this week, so it's racy, but at the same time, it's going to be collaborative.
Okay.
Cool.
So, what do I do when? Are you going to make a meeting, or should I pick something directly from the board?
I am not sure yet. I think that we have to talk with Green Hornet. I don't know where is the best place to do that, because it's going to be across many swarms, and maybe Gardens is the best place to do that. I'm not sure if they already have. When do they have a meeting? Maybe tomorrow?
I'm sorry, we only have 4 minutes left, so I really just want to interrupt and just update these issues in case there's, and make sure that we have some of these prioritized. Have we built the demo for the TEC? That's done, right?
Yes.
There's still this TEC UI fixed font issues. Is this merged yet?
Yeah, everything was merged. I think Paulo needed to close the task, right?
Paulo, is there anything blocking the task?
No, I'll close it.
Okay.
But by the way, Fabi, you have permissions on the Hatch frontend repo and all the
cool.
and the Tech UI repo too. So
Cool. I can do it. No worries.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Writing tests that test the redeem, that's done, right?
Yeah, the redeem is done.
The vote creation permission needs to be updated.
Yes, it's not yet done. Not done yet.
Okay, and working with Audria, that's still a work in progress, obviously. Are there any issues that we should really make a priority?
I think that the most interesting thing is to create the Commons template this week, along with Agave template and these kind of things.
So does that include like the reserve ratio price thing?
Not exactly. We are going to use the app as it is. It is going to have the reserve ratio, virtual balance, virtual supply, and then independently we can do the transformation of the parameters from open price and expected growth or something like that.
Okay. I would say, like, as much as I want to be collaborative, let's not let being overly collaborative slow us down. You know, we do have to get this done, so let's get it done. But of course, invite people to come play with us and learn with us as we do it.
Mhm.
Is this it, the Commons template, or is there more? Can I add more context to that?
In regards of Commons Swarm, it's the Commons template. We will be creating the Agave. Well, probably it's not going to be Agave template. It's going to be disputable company template, probably something like that. We will see. For Agave.
Yeah.
But in regards of Commons Swarm, it's the Commons template.
Okay, I have the juice ready. Should I share it in cafe or?
Yeah, cafe is a good place.
Let's
Cool.
see if we can have both things this week, or at least announce the verification party for. Why don't we do for this week the verification party? I think that it should be the most interesting thing to have now the end of date. Okay.
Cool. Okay, cool. Well, I think that's everything. I'll try to get a meme to this today for a verification party, and Chuy will publish it on Wednesday. Thank you guys. Great call. And if anyone needs anything, feel free to DM me or Sam.